Ulterior motives in seeking a relationship. Chapter 1. Why people get into relationships other than love. The gold digger, the servant, and the social companion, afraid of being alone. There are so many superficial reasons people get into relationships. The easiest is to get money and financial security. It's not just older men with younger women. All those online dating services where Westerners meet foreign girls are pretty well an offer for financial security with a young woman. There's the TV show Millionaire Matchmaker. I saw at least 20 sugar daddy and sugar mama websites. There is a TV show called Love After Lockup. There was a 53-year-old guy romancing this young girl in jail. She got out. He took her to his house. She was nasty, trying to control him and get his money. I saw a TV show where the Western Muslim goes to Saudi Arabia, finds a Muslim wife, brings her back. They filmed their life together. She was his servant. One time I dated a girl who didn't want just money from me. She wanted me to be her chauffeur and be at her beck and call. People want to move up in social status, so they target doctors, lawyers, and people like that to marry. There is a lot of social pressure to marry. It exists in every culture. They expect young men and women to marry. If you don't, you get a lot of negative feedback. I used to work in a bar. Single women would come in. I'd talk to them. I started to realize that a lot of these women simply do not like to be alone. As soon as they get out of one relationship, they're looking for the next guy rather than slowing down and focusing on themselves as individuals. Some people call it codependency. There was some movie from the 1990s about a girl in a superficial relationship with a guy, but she stayed because it was easy and convenient. It kept her parents off her back, the guy could help her with practical tasks like moving furniture, and she had a date if she needed one for work, a wedding, etc. The punchline of the movie was at the end when she said, "We're alone, together." Two people in a superficial relationship in the same house. It's convenient. They eat together, save on the rent, but there's no full-blown love affair. That sounds like a typical relationship to me. Getting into a relationship or marrying when it's not love. Everybody pretends they marry for love. This is one of the biggest jokes and frauds around. Start off in India. I just watched a documentary on life over there. The young woman's family looks for a suitor, a guy with money, even if he's old, fat, and ugly. Then the girl's family is supposed to give the groom's family a dowry, gift of money and property. Arranged marriages with dowries are a big deal over there. I saw it on a documentary about women cops in India who had their own police station and mediated a bunch of local disputes. What is happening there now is the way most marriages happen throughout human history. Look at me. At 16, I was in love with the idea of being in love. Can anyone blame any kid brought up in the capitalist, pop culture West who has watched 10,000 plus love movies and TV shows before they're 18? I thought I was in love many times in my teenage years. I don't know what it was. Curiosity about love and sex. The desire for sex. Puppy love, an immature, stupid kind of love that's not realistic, about earning money, paying bills, etc. I did stupid things as a young man until I fell in love at first sight really hard for the first time ever at about 23. It was like love lies buried in the soul until awakened by an object worthy of desire, but even this is not enough because there are other things such as a love of adventure, a love of getting high as in drugs and alcohol, the need for money, etc. I was watching a bunch of them red-pilled and MGTOW videos, and they're bringing all the stuff up that women want a guy with money, even though they all lie and pretend they don't, saying they want a guy who's funny with a great personality. I think those gold digger prank YouTube videos are staged, but a stranger girl will jump at a date with a guy driving an expensive car over a guy waiting for the bus any day. How real is this marriage for love thing anyway, especially after 30? When that TV show Millionaire Matchmaker was on TV, I used to watch how these women who thought they were hot stuff found themselves single after 30 and started settling for dates with any ugly guy with money. What about marriage for social standing, peer pressure, the desire to avoid uncomfortable questions about why you're single as many gay people do? When I was in the military, among the officer ranks, they expected us to show up at social functions as couples even if you were a single guy who didn't want to be in a relationship. I lived in a subdivision full of married couples. I used to walk through the back paths wondering how many of those couples were happy versus marrying for societal brainwash reasons, because they all looked so mundane and overweight to me, like there was no passion in their lives for anything. Many women and some men marry for a meal ticket, for a comfortable standard of living without having to go out into the world to work for a living. It's not hard for a pretty, young woman to marry an older guy with money. Just get a job at an upscale bar or restaurant, at a golf course, tennis club, etc. Why is that all women want a tall guy even if he's a schmuck? They did a bunch of psychobabble tests on women choosing guys. In the end, the woman wants to be with or seen out in public with a tall guy. People marry out of loneliness. They don't love the person they're marrying. They just don't want to be alone. They think it's better to be married to someone they don't love rather than to be alone. There's all this codependency talk. People are so afraid of being alone that they muckle onto any defective person just to be with someone. Some women try to outrun their biological clock by marrying some guy they don't love just to have a baby. Individuals are messed up in general with problems. Some think that marrying someone will end their personal misery, but it doesn't. You still have to live with yourself alone. Is it any wonder why we have so many divorces and problems within relationships? Trace it back to its root core. Why did you marry this person in the first place? Was it for less than pure love? Probably. What do you expect? Life is not perfect. Very few people get a perfect mate. Life is hard. Anybody with sense would marry someone with a job and some money rather than some stupid asshole calling himself an artist. That's old hat by now, all these assholes calling themselves artists, even though they still pummel away at this theme in love movies like Moulin Rouge and many others. The girl torn between the rich capitalist snob versus the poor, struggling artist who always gets the girls in the fairy tale but in real life, go after the money. Love is easy. Give him a massage, cook him a meal and have sex with him. Some women want to dominate beta males. I saw 2 different books about women taking authority in the relationship over a submissive males. There are a lot of beta males around acting liberal, apologizing for male privilege, white privilege, etc. But I think that except for the wimpiest guys, most guys won't take nagging, superiority crap from a woman. A lot of domestic violence happens when a beta male is pushed to his breaking point and he lashes out. I suggest to all women, don't nag your husband or act like you're better than him. The rational things are to keep your mouth shut. Leave the relationship. Don't stay and try to dominate the guy. He'll get you back for being a bitch sooner or later. The Neurotic Search for Love. Citizen Kane has been rated as the greatest movie of all time. This is because it exposes how destructive existential loneliness can be. The guy became a tycoon out in the world trying to replicate the mother's love he had for a short while as a kid before it was abruptly taken from him. His life was reduced to looking to find that kind of love again. That's what the sled represented. Everything he did was a desire to find that mother's love again. He mistakenly thought success and power out in the world would give him love, fame and a good, fulfilled feeling, but it didn't. His life was a tragedy because everything he did was a subconscious attempt to go back to that warm, safe feeling he had briefly in childhood, which, of course, he never could because life doesn't work that way. It keeps moving. As much as people try, you can't freeze a perfect moment and relieve it. People make extensive wedding albums and wedding videos trying to preserve a moment in time. Half of them will be rendered void by divorce. According to free spiritism, Citizen Kane should have gotten over his craving for perfect motherly love and focused on living a great life day by day through what he did in releasing his natural energy instead of spending his life seeking the comfort of the womb, so to speak, by trying to be a popular, famous man getting admiration from the masses. You can choose to live right now in the moment and keep running with your life no matter what, or you can feel deficient and alone because you don't have the love you crave in life, then spend your life neurotically looking for love and approval from others. We create gods to try to fill our loneliness. We drink alcohol and do drugs, sometimes alone, sometimes with others, because we want to ease our feelings of not having anyone who will ever know us or fully understand us, even if they love us or say they do. Some people eat a lot of food to try to fill the void they feel inside. Some people buy a lot of useless stuff they don't need. Some people talk endlessly on internet chat rooms with strangers, read romance novels or watch TV, achieving a kind of pseudo-intimacy with the celebrities and fictional characters out there. If you seek fulfillment through looking for love the way you dream about it, people will often disappoint you because they have their own agendas, and you will still spend most of your time alone in your own head. Relationships can only fill you up so far, then you're alone to find fulfillment within yourself. A lot of people don't know this, partially because almost everything, all the way from fairy tales to love movies, tell us that love and marriage will solve our problems and make us happy, but they don't, simply because you still spend most of your time alone. Granted, a certain percentage of happiness and fulfillment is made up of love and intimacy, but a much bigger percentage depends on who you are and what you do. There's no in crowd anywhere, despite the airs people put on and the desperation some of them have to fit in with the alleged cool people. We're all a bunch of loners walking around, trying to fit into some collective image of what it means to be cool and successful, so that we can attract cool, successful people to us and be part of the illusory, local happening crowd for a while. You have to be polite, or at least don't interfere with other people by law, but the rest of your life is just you with your solitary thoughts, seeing it and analyzing from it your own point of view that no one else will never know, and most people don't particularly care to know because they're too busy with living life from their own point of view. I can't get neurotic like all the lonely hearts around me, worried that they'll never get the perfect feeling of love they desperately crave, then get depressed and live miserable lives, which makes them even more unattractive to possibly meeting potential new friends and lovers. The pursuit of love and affection are inherent to us, but many people take it too far. They think that if they find a decent mate, they'll be happy forever, but the truth is that your relationships are only as good as you are today. If you start going downhill as an individual or get angry and mean because of frustration at work, your relationships are sunk. Don't be so neurotic that you destroy your life looking for some dreamy love connection you got brainwashed by in some movie to soften your sense of existential loneliness. The movies are very far away from real life as lived day by day. The movies are fictional, idealized stories, even the true ones. They call it dramatic license. Love and affection are great if you can find people and pets who love you for you, but even then, you're only engaged with them for an hour or two a day at the most in mutual intimacy. The really enlightened people eventually figure out that life is finite. You got so many days to run powerfully and aesthetically with your free spirit. That's the meaning of life. Run with it strong and free while you got it. Live it with all your beauty, guts, inspiration, fun, and transcendence. If you don't, you're a sucker one way or another. You're either too weak, lazy, and scared to honor your free spirit, or you're buying into an artificial agenda that's not who you are in your true nature. Running with your life should never end, not when you get a job, get married, retire, make $1 million, break your leg, get depressed, get paralyzed, get cancer, get old, your loved ones die, etc. Is all young love foolish? Young love is simple, innocent, light-hearted, and fun. First love is a little foolish and a lot of curiosity. George Bernard Shaw. Marriage was traditionally a way to give young people a meaningful life script, but what if you discover you are horny all the time and aroused sexually by lots of young, slim, attractive people? Do you abandon your culturally indoctrinated beliefs and listen to yourself, or go along with the program and marry someone anyway, hoping it will lead to happiness and fulfillment? From the opposite point of view, some really young people think they're in love because they're love-struck, but they don't know anything about each other or about how life as a couple works day by day. The young and inexperienced enter marriage tempted by love, full of energy, desire, and expectation only to crash and burn, or at least to realize that reality is not the bliss they thought it would be after the fireworks have worn off. If you fail to plan your life together, it could easily crash and burn. Most of us never take the time and effort required to get to know our lover before marriage in order to try to increase our chances that we both want the same things out of life and know we are going in the same direction. Usually we're either smitten, in love with the idea of being in love, or so desperate that we grab onto the new relationship and hold on even if we know deep down inside that there is something not quite right. The flood of love chemicals makes us abandon all reason. We go with the flow in a romantic haze until the fantasy honeymoon phase wears off, then trouble could start very quickly. Create and preserve a fulfilling marriage by talking about it and coming to a shared vision of life. Listen to your spouse. Take what he or she says to heart. Don't take your mate for granted. Be bold in showing your love for him or her. Work hard to make your marriage a success. First love, puppy love, young love websites. drgreen.com/21_848.html, First Love, Knowing When to Let Go. Eastbourne.com/young_love.htm. Ember.org, Love Stories. Firstlove.at. sbtimes.com/lovestories/young-love.html. stiannalisa.com/younglove.html. Suvarnafor.blogspot.com, Young Romance, a Love Poem. Younglove.org. Younglove.com. Younglove.net.